Today on Houston Life, we are celebrating Black history with a look inside the Deluxe Theater and the impact it's had on the African-American community in Houston.
Plus, we're getting ready for the big game. With Lobster Sliders, we're learning to make this dish with help of a beloved chef in the Houston sports world.
And Cheetos released their Super Bowl commercial, the stats on relationships that may have you sneaking snacks.
With the art of glass blowing today at Juggernaut Glass. This is so amazing. You guys don't want to go anywhere. All that and more happening today right here on Houston Life.
Is that for real?
Live from Studio B at KPRC Channel 2. Houston Life starts now.
Well, happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to Houston Life. It is February 1st. Can you believe it, Courtney?
I cannot. We made it through January.
We made it, and somehow January still sort of felt like 2020.
It still felt a little like 2020 and long. It was like January was the longest month of the year.
It was, but I'm ready for a new day, a new week, and a new month. All of which are happening right now.
So dry January done. Are you like back on the train? What are we doing? What is new for February?
Dry January didn't happen. I mean, it happened for like 2 days, but you know, it was a stressful month. So yeah, I had a few drinks.
Thought in my head.
Here and there. I had a few drinks this weekend too. So this morning I flew back from New Orleans, first time on a plane in a year, right?
Right.
We had gone this weekend because two of our dear friends, Joel and Mario, are getting married. So we went to sort of look at the venue and taste the food. I think we have some video from the weekend there. It had been a while since I had been, and it was so lovely to get reacquainted. We got up early. You know, this is the French Quarter totally dead on a Saturday morning. It did get a little busier in the evening, but of course, you know, they have really clamped down with the COVID restrictions and trying to keep people safe. This, you know, I thought I had seen you at one moment. I looked up and I was like, Courtney, is that you?
You're horrible.
No, that's just two girlfriends, two mannequins hanging out. Hanging out.
I was just coming in for the weekend.
But yesterday was gorgeous. This is the train car, the rail car along St. Charles, and it was just great to go back. And there were so many Cajun transplants here in Houston.
Of course, yeah.
Brandon's one of them. This is dinner last night we had inside a church. It's called St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church. They're actually serving food now from the Elysian because their space is so small, they can't accommodate
the social distancing, right?
The social distancing. So they're actually serving dinner in the church. The nearest table was like 10 feet away, and there was a man playing, you know, the guitar, and it was lovely.
Brandon posted a photo, a beautiful black and white, picturesque, and I thought, did they go to Rome for the weekend? I didn't know what was going on.
Planes go really fast now. No, but it's just it's like a 45-minute flight. Super easy. It's great to go. You know, I had a really interesting experience, though. We were dining on Saturday morning at Cafe Amelie there, outside, and it's very lush. And I noticed this woman sitting alone at a table.
Okay.
Having breakfast. It was maybe 11 a.m., so it was a late breakfast. Brunch, but I heard her order her meal and then some chocolate cake, and I thought, wow, she is ordering the chocolate cake before noon. This is my kind of lady.
Yeah.
Anyway, I became obsessed with this woman, and it's not like I only looked a couple times. She was probably 80 years old, an older woman, and so I just felt impressed that we should pay her check. I don't know why. I just did.
Okay.
So I said discreetly to the waitstaff, hey, could you just let us take care? Please don't tell her who did it. I just want to treat her, whatever. So paid the check. Well, she figured out who did it, and she came over. Turns out she's from Idaho and lives in a small town just down the road from where my father lived. We're going to drive through her town later this week when we attend his funeral.
What?
And the universe, I felt like the universe sort of brought us together. Mary Amelie is her name. We had a lovely conversation.
You are making the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. That is crazy.
Can you believe?
I can believe. I can. Things happen for a reason.
And it's not like I go out and I'm, you know, paying people's checks right and left. That's not something that happens often, right? I just felt this connection, this energy between us. Like, this woman needed to, I don't know, but it turns out, yeah, she's from Idaho, totally gave me goosebumps, and it turns out she has a fascinating story. Her husband passed away last February, a year ago, and even without him, she's continued to travel. She was one of the first nurse practitioners in the United States. You know, it used to be that if you wanted a prescription, you had to go to a doctor. There were things that only doctors could do. But there was this project called the Council Cambridge Project, Council, Idaho, where my father lived.
This is a
And there was
trip.
a doctor who helped push through this initiative to get nurse practitioners certified so that if you lived in a small town and you didn't have access to a doctor, you could still have access to care.
Unbelievable. By any chance,
Unbelievable.
did she ever run into your dad or anything? Did that ever...
No, I mean,
okay.
she was surprised. I mean, she lives in a small town, but the town where my father lived, even smaller. She was like, oh, Council, wow, that is really...
tiny.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But isn't it interesting how we move through the world every single day, and I feel like so many of our encounters in the world with people we don't know can just be sort of unpleasant, right? You drive on the freeway, people are nasty. You walk down the street, sometimes people don't even look at you, like the guy who walks in your neighborhood and you always say hello to, right?
Right, right.
And I feel like with a simple act of kindness, we're bridging that gap between being strangers and being reminded that we're all connected.
Absolutely. I think it's such a great story, and I'm so glad that you were able to speak to each other, because not knowing her story, right? There was a reason that you two needed to connect the dots.
Yeah.
That is so great, and I love that that was brought to you. Me, on the other hand, I didn't get that lucky. So I was at a grocery store establishment.
Uh-oh.
2 letters, just leave it at a TJ. And I was pulling up with my cart in the store, had my cart and I was getting ready to get some cheese from the cheese selection.
Okay.
And I had my cart and I kind of pushed it off to the side. And as I'm going in for my cheese, like I can see it, it's right there. And as I'm reaching, there comes this cart right in front of me. She parks it. She was in full Lululemon, white shirt with little short shorts and a baseball cap. Not that I paid attention to exactly what she was wearing.
She'd probably
but
come from a very rigorous workout.
She pulled her cart right in front of me, which made me, because she literally almost rolled over my feet.
Like cut you off.
Cut me off. And then she picked up every piece of brie to match and look at it and weigh and see which one's bigger. And then she selected hers and she's looking at the brie. And then she turns around and puts the brie in her cart and looks at me. And I'm standing there thinking, did this just happen? Am I being punked? Like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And now she's ready to reverse her cart and get out of my way, basically. And she's like, decisions. Thinking like I was taking too much time.
Oh, no. No.
And I said...
Like you were in her way.
Yes.
Wow. What'd you say? Have a nice day?
No, I let her be. Clearly, she had some other things to do.
See, I feel like that's an example of someone who's just sort of living in their own little world, right?
Yeah.
And they're not aware that there are other people
around
sharing the same space. Well, I'm sorry that happened.
But I'm so grateful that happened to you in Rome or Italy, wherever you were this weekend. It was fabulous.
New Orleans, same thing.
That picture that he posted, though, I thought, my gosh, surely I would have known if he left the country. But I'm glad that it's just serendipitous, right? That she had to, your paths crossed, had that connection. And if you never had that chance meeting, you would have never made that connection.
She made my day. She totally made my day.
It's so great.
Yeah,
it really
I'll
is
never
to take
forget
that
it.
moment and just kind of realize, say hello to somebody. You never know.
Yeah, why
You
not?
never know.
It's easier to be nice than it is to be mean.
And I think we've had something to learn from her. Eating chocolate cake at 11 on a Sunday seems like a good life.
But I was so happy that she was still traveling and
Yeah.
seeing the world, even though her late husband
Yeah.
left us. We missed a birthday party this weekend.
We did.
Mr. Oscar.
Well,
little
it wasn't
pup.
his birthday. No, his birthday's in November.
It's his gotcha day, though.
Today's his gotcha day.
The day you brought him home.
Look at that sweet face,
Really
Oscar.
been a year?
I know, February 1st, 2020.
How much did he owe? That is the same dog.
That is the same dog, yes.
Wow.
His fur makes me happy.
Look at that.
I know.
All of that growth in just a year.
Just a year.
What a
Yep.
sweet little man. How much does he weigh now?
You know what? He's like 55 pounds. He's all fur. You would think he's going to be heavier, but you know when he gets wet, he's like a wet mouse. It's just the fluffiness goes away.
Well, it's
Skin
like
and
Tex.
bones.
When Tex gets wet, he's unrecognizable.
Yeah.
And does Oscar still follow you around?
Oh,
Your little shadow,
he is
right?
under my feet all the time.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it is cute.
What are you going to do to celebrate his Gotcha Day?
Well, we went on a good walk this morning. He'll probably get some sort of bone later. You know, some treats and lots of hugs.
It sounds perfect to me. Does he still have that special outfit, those sort of like the leotard
Spanx?
for dogs? The Spanx, doggy Spanx?
No, we did. It was more like a security blanket for him. He loved it when he got neutered. It's like it calmed him down. Should have kept that.
Maybe I could borrow it in case I have that.
It fit like a glove.
Hey, so also big news today because we're doing something really cool here at KPRC2 along with TSU. So today, of course, begins Black History Month and KPRC2's partnership with Texas Southern University.
Every day in February, students from TSU School of Communication and members of KTSU's The Voice online team are sharing stories of Houston Black history.
And today on click2houston.com, you'll find an article introducing you to Florence Bandy Norman, a librarian who broke barriers chasing after her dreams. You'll find out how this librarian's story of determination earned a spot in Houston's history books.
And today's TSU author is Kennedy Robinson, a junior majoring in journalism at Texas Southern University, whose goal is to one day be like Oprah Winfrey.
Awesome.
I know. Fun fact, listen to this. Kennedy is a descendant of Florence, the librarian.
Oh, you're kidding. That is so cool. Tune in today at KPRC2 at 4 p.m. when Brandon Walker will give us a closer look at our partnership with TSU, including his chat with a professor and her students, what they've learned from her and the experience working with KPRC2.
And tomorrow we continue with more articles from TSU students on click2houston.com/Black History. Love TSU. We had a lot of fun with them at the marching band.
Oceans of Soul.
Oceans of Soul. It's a great campus. Love everybody there, and the students are very energetic and very smart.
They are, and you know, I love that part of town.
I do
It's
too.
one of my favorites. I can't believe they let us play in the band for a day.
That was just...
We were terrible.
It was fun, though.
It was fun. Still to come, do you sneak snacks when your significant other isn't watching? A new Cheetos commercial highlights one famous couple who does maybe just that.
Plus, Lauren Kelly is blowing off some steam this afternoon at Juggernaut Glass Blowing. We're going to check back in with her when Houston Life returns in just 2 minutes.
What you know about me? Just what the people say.
Well, the big game is this weekend, and that means big brands are already rolling out their commercials, including this one starring husband and wife duo Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
Did you steal my Cheetos again?
Just tell him it wasn't you.
But I caught you at the counter.
Wasn't me.
Saw you snacking on the sofa.
Wasn't me.
You even had him in the shower.
It wasn't me.
I even caught you on camera. Well, did you?
Wasn't me.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's the first time that's ever worked.
So Ashton and Mila, along with Shaggy there, reprising that 2000 Shaggy hit, It Wasn't Me. There's a new Cheetos Pop, which is popcorn with Cheetos flavoring.
You know what that is? Music to my ears. According to a recent survey by Cheetos, nearly half of Americans admit to sneaking snacks from friends or loved ones, and among those, 1 in 4 even admit to doing it with some regularity. I love seeing them. I love that Shaggy is part of this. You know, that iconic song, Wasn't Me. I mean, it's just so perfect.
Yeah.
Well done. That actually wasn't even supposed to be a song that he released.
You're kidding.
No, he just was doing it as a joke, and then it caught on and it was released. But that is awesome. Do you sneak snacks or anything from Brandon?
Well, no, but I don't understand. Why do people have to sneak around just to eat a snack, though?
Well, maybe it's like, I'm not eating snacks, or, you know, if you say it wasn't you, then who ate the entire thing of Oreos? Yeah, maybe you don't want to share.
No, I don't think that. We always save like the last piece for the other one.
Oh, no, never.
We just do.
I go in and I'm like, oh, last one, sorry.
Really? And somehow I am not surprised.
I know. Orlando and I actually we'll hide snacks from our kids. So
Oh, well, that makes sense. I think a lot of parents probably do that.
maybe. I mean, peanut M&Ms, seriously,
Oh, yeah.
I'm hiding those. That's
Yeah,
not a
that's the
free-for-all
good
for
stuff.
everybody.
Every once in a while, I'll get the gigantic container from Costco. And then Brandon's mad at me because, of course, we eat them within 24 hours.
Yeah.
But we're very open about our food habits together and separately with each other. Do you hide snacks from Orlando
No,
or
no.
pretend you're not?
No, but I might just go in and grab some. I'm just not gonna, I don't know. I don't hide it, but we hide snacks from the kids. We do.
When I was a kid and I started baking, there were times when I would bake cookies, but then other people would eat them. So I would take a large Tupperware container of them and hide them in my room. I've never admitted that story to anyone.
Wait, the full container of cookies that you made?
I would leave some.
One.
I would leave a couple for my sisters, but it was always so frustrating. I worked so hard on those.
I know. Baking is a lot of work and effort.
But that was selfish and wrong of me, and it only happened when I was young. It doesn't happen anymore. Now I love to bake, but I want to give them all away so I don't eat them.
And the only time he bakes is during Lent when I'm not eating sweets and he brings in it. Oh, look, I made chocolate chip cookies. It's Lent season.
I didn't grow up Catholic. I don't know these customs. You've helped me learn, but I was not trying to.
Every year.
Did you guys see that last year? I brought in cookies and milk thinking, oh, what a fun surprise for Courtney. You had given up sweets for Lent. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm just asleep at the wheel. I'm sorry.
One day I'm going to have those chocolate chip cookies.
One day.
I've heard so many great things about them. Don't forget my Irish soda breads. That season's coming up soon.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Okay, we want to know, and we want to hear from you guys. What do you sneak from your loved ones? Let us know by heading over to Facebook at Houston Life TV, and your answer could be read a little bit later on in the show.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be food. It could be anything. So tell
We
your
do
secrets
screen
to
answers.
us. We will screen the answers. Hey, maybe you're sneaking in a new hobby. How about that? For many during the pandemic, they've learned a new activity, maybe on their own, to be socially distant from people, and that's what Lauren's doing.
Absolutely. She is doing that this afternoon at Juggernaut Glass. Hey, Lauren.
Hey guys, we are in the Heights, and I'm not sure if you've recently seen the show on Netflix. It's called Blown Away, but I've become obsessed with the art of glass blowing. It is so fascinating to me because these pieces can turn into beautiful works of art just with the simple flame and the touch of the magic hand. I'm here with Will Jackson. He is a glass blower, a glass artist who's got many pieces that you sell. You do classes here. Tell us about the different parts that it takes to blow glass.
Sure. Well, we buy materials online. There's rods, there's tubing.
Okay.
And really everything we create starts there. I use this torch.
Okay.
It's the flame gets about 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
So it's super hot.
Very, very hot.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel that temperature.
No, I can feel it from right here. I'm okay right here. Yeah.
But yeah, it's an awesome craft. We've got colors to use. We've got all kinds of tools. A lot of them are made of graphite.
What you really mentioned earlier, I loved, was that the art of glass blowing is really wherever your imagination can take you. Because you could blow any type of beautiful masterpiece.
Certainly, you're really only limited by your imagination and your skill level, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been doing the glass blowing?
I've been working with glass about 11.5 years now.
So you have some years under
Certainly.
your belt, and you guys do classes here at Juggernaut as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We offer classes. Kind of seasonal. We'll do a lot of ornaments towards the end of the year.
Some hearts for
we're about to make a lot of hearts, maybe move on to Easter eggs soon. So, fun stuff.
Well, Will, don't move. He's going to give me the lowdown on how I can safely use this torch, and we're going to blow some glass art pieces coming up here in just a little bit. Courtney and Derek, back to you guys in the studio. Look how beautiful this is. That is gorgeous.
It's so beautiful. I know your shot's just a little fuzzy there, Lauren, but Courtney and I are big fans of Juggernaut Class. We did a class there about a year ago.
We did, our craft off.
Our craft off. Well, Lauren, we can't wait to see what you get into today. I'm sure you're going to be great.
See you in just a bit. Let's check in now with Joe Sam for some Houston history. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Courtney, Derek. Yeah, we're going to be giving you a little history about what's happening here in Houston for Black History. We're going to be taking you in a peek behind the curtain as we take a look at the rich history at the Deluxe Theater here in Houston. The story behind the African-American treasure when Houston Life returns. Welcome back to Houston Life. You know, I'm starting my journey through Houston's Black history at the Deluxe Theater, which served as the premier source of entertainment for African Americans in 1941. Now, after the Civil Rights Act, the theater closed in 1973 and sat empty until 2015, but is now thriving as one of the Fifth Ward's most redeveloped treasures. Harrison, what a beautiful renovation they've done here to the theater. I know it has such great history being here in Houston. What can you say about the Deluxe Theater that people probably wouldn't know?
It was where black people could come see movies. You know, and at that time it was segregation, so it's very important for black people to figure out where they could have entertainment, where they could be in community, and where they could thrive. And so the Deluxe Theater served as really like a hub for the Fifth Ward community of where they could come and just relax and have fun and see some movies together.
When we are now here and we have that privilege, we have that luxury, talk about how that makes you feel and how hard our ancestors have worked to get to a point to where we're able to do that now.
Well, I mean, you can't be in a place of history, a nostalgic place, without paying tribute to those people that were able to create something like this back then. I think it's a lot easier to have these ideas and to do them now without some of those barriers. But just to know that people had the wisdom and the fortitude to create something for themselves at that time, it's just really mind-boggling. It makes me feel like we can do anything today. And that's certainly not to say today is not without barriers. You know, them needing a place to go and relax because of the way that the world was back then, it's still true today. Life is stressful for all kinds of people, and specifically for people of color. And so we still need spaces of creativity, of entertainment, places where we can just go relax. But not only that, where we can imagine and dream. And that's what's wonderful about artistic and creative spaces. It allows you to see the world that you want, you know, see the world beyond what it actually is. And so that is still true today. A place where people can come play, where they can have fun, but also where they can imagine and dream is still needed and still important.
The community agrees and works hard to keep the lights and shows on at the theater.
Fifth Ward is a prideful community, you know, very proud of what's here, what was here, and what will be. And so I want people to really leave with that concept of you don't have to go far to see great things.
And great things will continue to be seen as the Deluxe Theater isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah, definitely such a treasure there in the Fifth Ward. Now, after that $6 million renovation, the theater now offers dance and music programming for the youth, event space, and community initiatives. I have a link on our website at HoustonLife.tv where you can find out more about the Deluxe Theater and how it continues to preserve Black history here in Houston. Now, I cannot wait to get there, Courtney and Derek, because going inside, it really does give you a sense of pride, and you really feel like some kind of energy being connected to the history that's there. And I think everybody that goes to perform or even watch some of the performances there are really thrilled to see how that's happening and how it's continuing to change.
It's amazing that it was closed.
Right.
From 73 till 2015,
exactly.
So for decades
for
it
so
just sat
long,
empty.
They got that renovation in, they decided to go in and try and make it something really, really useful, and that's when they turned it into the Performing Arts Center for the youth. So
and I think it's so great to preserve it, because so many times we see this is the old space where it was, this is what it looked like, and now this is the new building. So be able to preserve the facade of that and to be in there, no wonder there's so much energy inside.
And what I loved about it is they didn't turn it into something completely different than what it was. They kept it on the entertainment spectrum, so people are still going in there to watch those performing arts, and I love everything about the Deluxe Theater.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we're going to have a lot of things coming up for you guys, too. Tomorrow, we're learning more about Houston's Black history as I take you on a stroll through Emancipation Park to showcase the importance that it has on the African-American community and the significant role it played during the recent Black Lives Matter movement. So some more great stuff that's happening here in Houston. Such a rich history that we have here.
Absolutely. Great job, Joe. Thanks. Coming up, he traded his career in oil and gas and headed straight to the kitchen, becoming executive chef for the Astros, Rockets, and Dynamo. And today he's teaching us to make a tasty dish for the big game.
And we'll get a check of what Keith, Christine, and Frank have coming up for the news at 4 when Houston Life returns in just 2 minutes.
On this Monday, welcome back to Houston Life. I'm Courtney Zavala along with Derek Shore, and the time is 3:30 on the dot.
3:30 on the nose. Earlier, we were asking you if you sneak anything from significant others.
I am giggling because some of these responses are so good.
I haven't seen any yet, but I think we're going to show some right now, starting with Jan, who writes, Amazon purchases. I have a P.O. box, so he doesn't see the regular bounty.
Geez, Jan, I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
That is genius. What are you buying, Jan?
I love it. Adriana writes in, I take the box of honeycomb cereal and a glass of water to my room to watch Netflix. I don't hide it. My husband and kids know mommy doesn't share. Hashtag middle child syndrome.
Honeycomb. There's something about sugary cereals.
It's so
Always.
good
I
at
like
night.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Barbara writes in, holiday and birthday gifts. I buy them throughout the year and hide them often in plain sight. Oh, and I also just found a bag of Halloween candy I hid in October. Barbara, that's so funny. We just finished our Halloween candy.
That is so, my mom does it all the time. I bought you something, I just don't know where I put it. When I make homemade oatmeal raisin cookies, Corey writes in, I hide half of them from my husband, otherwise the big grown cookie monster will eat them all from my daughter and I.
Oh, wow. Those sound really, really good.
Yummy, we'll take some of those.
The Amazon packages, that is very, very funny.
It's brilliant.
How big is that P.O. box you have there?
Well, it's quite large. All right, let's check in with Keith, Christine, and Frank for a look at what they have coming up for the news at 4. Hey, guys.
Hey, you got to keep the good stuff to yourself sometimes, you know?
You know?
Jan is my hero. She really is with the P.O. box. That's amazing. That is some solid work.
I would never do that.
No, no. Okay.
I would hide the cookies, though.
I think I have hidden some coffee before. There's this really good coffee. I think it's made in Kenya, and I couldn't share it with Lisa and the girls, and so I hid it under the bed for a couple of months, and I guess now the secret's out. No. It was in the packets. I mean, it hadn't opened it, but no, the whole box. Yeah, no, I bought the box and I didn't let them. I wasn't sharing.
What does the bedroom smell like? Delicious coffee all
no,
the time.
it didn't. No, it was enclosed. So
Busted.
Yeah, I know.
Now you're busted.
You always tell on yourself, right?
All right. Hey, great to see you guys. I hope you had a great weekend. Frank, it's also a cool start to the work week.
I know, it is. It's cold. It's going to be cold tonight. Look at these. Look at that sky. It seems like more often than not, I'm telling you about a great sky. It seems like.
We like it. We're okay with that.
I know, right? We're all okay with that. We're in the 60s, but low 60s, 65, about as warm as I can find there in Sugar Land, Lake Jackson, Palacios. Lots of basically 61 to 65 across the area. Humidity in Cleveland right now, it's 18%, 28% in Houston, 23 in Wharton. So it's nice and dry. We have this cool northerly flow. Consequently, it's going to be a chilly one. If you're heading out with the dog, it's a chilly dog. 64, 62, 58 at 6, and 55 at 7. In fact, overnight numbers, grab those jackets, all pretty much in the 30s. Along the coast, a little warmer, but those mid and upper 30s like we've seen even last week. This high responsible for that. Coming up, we'll talk about our forecast. There's this big low sitting out here. That's going to be the next front. That gets in here, it looks like, late Thursday, early Friday. So we'll go over that. And my blog today, what to know about Groundhog Day. That's tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
I know.
Puxatawny Phil, Houston Hank.
Puxatawny Phil.
All of
I thought it was Harry.
Is it Harry?
I thought it was Harry. Houston Harry.
I
Hank
just
must be
made
his
up an
cousin.
alliterative name. I don't think we have a groundhog.
They're cousins. Yeah, we'll go with that.
That's it.
All right, Frank, thank you, sir. We want to give you a look at some of the other stories that we're covering this afternoon. The city of Houston laying out their plan and procedures for getting folks their second dose of the Moderna coronavirus vaccine. We've had a lot of people reaching out to KPRC about scheduling concerns. Details on the city's plan ahead at 4.
Plus, the new legislation introduced to help prevent violent offenders from being released on personal bonds. That is new legislation named after a pregnant Pasadena mom and her unborn baby who were murdered back in 2019.
Plus, how one family has been able to help more than a dozen others during this pandemic. They are building desks for all the children who are learning virtually. A closer look at how they've pooled their resources to help those families. And we know how having kids at home has not been easy, and any help you can get goes a long way.
And a lot of folks have gotten creative over the past several months, year at this point, guys. So a lot coming up today at 4 o'clock.
Very nice, guys. We'll see you at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And you know, it's never too late to follow your passion. And after 15 years of working in oil and gas, Chef Ray decided to become a professional cook.
Yeah, and his career took off. Since then, he's been the executive team chef for the Astros, Rockets, and Dynamo. He joins us now with more on his remarkable career. Chef Ray, welcome to Houston Life.
Hello, Derek and Courtney. How are you guys?
Well, now that we have this giant platter of cheesecake in front of us, we are doing quite well. I want to eventually get to your brand new YouTube show that you just started this year, but take us down memory lane. What was it that pushed you to leave your career in oil and gas and try something totally new?
Well, I'll tell you what, Derek and Courtney, I was 37 years old. My pastime was always cooking. I grew up, I have 10 other siblings. I have 5 brothers, 5 sisters. So food was like our pastime. And I grew up around great food. My mom, my dad, they were both great cooks, as well as my grandmothers. And besides playing outside, there was always a great plate of cookies. I heard you guys talking about cookies the last episode, and I'm a cookie monster myself. But basically, cooking was my pastime, and it was literally my passion. And it took a couple years to push me to that point to finally go to the Art Institute and visit with a counselor. And I knew the moment that I said and talked to her that it was truly my passion. And then later on, years later after I graduated, realizing that it was actually my gift.
It is a true gift, and a lot of people and celebrities are now big fans of yours. You've served celebrities like Beyonce, Natalie Cole, NBA Hall of Famer Tracy McGrady. You were actually his personal chef and house manager for many years. And then you opened your restaurant and cookbooks and all of these things. I mean, what I think is so great is all the sports organizations here. I mean, from 2011, 2014, 2019, you have been the leader and the chef for our athletes. Here's the thing. I think it's so difficult to cook for other people on a regular basis, but what you're providing for so many people is like heart and soul in your food.
Exactly. Thank you for that question. It is, that's, you know, as I just stated about having, giving a God-given gift. And spending the 5 years with Tracy McGrady was actually my training ground to be able to move forward, and actually propelled me to be able to cook for the multiple teams that I did cook for here in the city, as well as the premier athletes. One thing that I do know for sure, one of the most personal things that you could do for someone next to cutting their hair or washing their hair is actually cooking for them, because you're literally nurturing their soul. So it's that old saying, what you put in is what comes out. So I've always did my best to nurture it with love and understanding, and it's worked for me.
That is fantastic. Your list of life experience, professional experience, Chef Ray, you've authored multiple cookbooks. It's all about color, the journey of becoming Chef Ray limited edition, Food Meets Athlete. You created a scholarship fund at the Art Institute of Houston. This is awesome, to assist underprivileged students seeking careers in the culinary field. And we got to talk about this cheesecake, because in 2018 you were the first place winner of HEB's Quest for Texas Best competition. What's the secret to your cheesecake? Is this a no-bake cheesecake?
Well, no, it's not a no-bake. It is actually a unique way. And I actually, my Valentine's episode, I actually give some of the treasures of my cheesecake. First and foremost, Derek, it is not baked in a spring pan, nor is it baked in a water bath. And I actually show you the technique that I use. Is basically what I would call blind bake. Basically placed in the oven just like baking a regular cake on 300 degrees, but there's an art to it. And in episode 6, I believe, I talk about how I actually bake my cheesecake in a regular 9x2 or 2x2. I think I sent you guys samples of the 2x2, which are the shots, as well as the 4x2. And they're baked in a regular cake pan. Now, I don't know, you guys are actually eating quite yet, but my slogan for my cheesecake is it's smooth, it's velvety, it's just like jazz on the palate. So there's a unique flavor in there that, for disclosed reasons, I can't give that to you quite yet. But it's a cheesecake like you've never had before. Even those individuals, like my ex-boss, Tracy McGrady, when I worked for him, he was not a cheesecake lover, but now he actually purchased cheesecakes from me.
Well, I can tell why, because most of the time cheesecake is so dense. Yours is light, flavorful. It's lovely. Okay, we're gonna put you to the test. Well, actually, you're putting us to the test because we're going to head over to the kitchen. Stay right there.
Okay.
After the break, Chef Ray is sticking around to show all of us how to make some game day sliders, that recipe when Houston Life returns. And it's not any old sliders, lobster.
This cheesecake is going to be gone in 10 seconds.
It's mine.
I'm just saying.
Well, Chef Ray is back with us to share his recipe for lobster sliders, perfect for the big game this weekend.
Yeah, and who knew that we would live in a day and age when we're cooking and learning things on Zoom, but you're going to walk us through step by step.
Exactly. So being that we're in COVID season, most gatherings, you won't have that large Super Bowl party, so you can actually afford to do lobster sliders. So we're going to start with our hot saute skillet. We're going to add our olive oil.
Okay.
All righty.
Got that.
And just enough oil to coat the bottom? About how much?
Just enough oil to coat it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my pan's nice and hot.
All righty. Is it hot?
It is, yes.
All righty. So we're going to add, I'm a lover of shallots. I love shallots.
Me too.
I love the smell of it. The only thing I didn't send you because I didn't want to make you guys drink on the job, and I was going to send you some white wine to deglaze in the end, but we didn't do that.
Oh,
so we're going to add our bell
drink
peppers
on the job? Gladly, anytime.
The bell peppers. Add your bell peppers next.
Okay. Did that.
And then we're going to follow with our celery.
Okay.
All righty.
Oh, that's so fragrant. And
that smells good already.
It's just a couple minutes, really, in the pan.
Yeah, it's really quick. And you don't necessarily have to be a certified executive chef to do this.
Well, I'm not, so that's good.
So now we're going to add all that money that's in the bowl, the lobster.
Oh, okay. Put that in now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And now we're going to just incorporate our sauteed veggies with the lobster.
Okay.
For about 15 seconds. And then you should have your Old Bay, which is the seasoning.
Yes.
And I love Old Bay seasoning because basically it has the New England flavor. It's not spicy, loaded with cayenne, so it doesn't overpower the lobster.
Oh, that smells so good.
So it should, you guys should smell like great seafood house there at the station.
It does. And
all righty, so now what we're going to do, we're going to take just some parsley, just for color, because it's all about color, because we eat with the eyes, and if there's no color on the plate, we're not going to be drawn to it.
It's true.
And the truth of the matter is we actually eat before we actually taste the food because of the color.
Absolutely.
So we've got our lobster quick sauteed, right? So let's turn our burner off.
Okay.
You should already have your buns ready. You can actually have them pre-ready as buttered and brown. So we're going to take our buns. Okay. Take your bottom bun. And it's all about portion control since we're still at the beginning of the new year. Everybody's on some kind of plan. So we want to put about, I always say 2 to 3 ounces. About 2 ounces of lobster meat on each slider.
Okay.
Look at that. We'll put the little lids on now. Oh, actually, we need sauce first, right?
Do we need a little
zest? You got your lid on there, and then you should have some toothpicks that I gave you.
Oh yeah.
That are bowls, Sunday bowl.
Do you put any sort of dressing or sauce on here, Chef Ray?
I did.
Okay,
I got so excited I forgot I was doing so well. So basically, I sent you a lemon pepper, which is basically olive oil, a lemon pepper, and a little bit of S&P, and I just put just a little drizzle. I also sent you guys, which I know most people don't have at home, but if you want to take it up to the next level, is to add a little bit of truffle oil. Ooh. Not too much, because what the truffle oil is going to do is take it to a whole new level and give it a distinct flavor.
Okay. Lovely.
Hot off the press.
There, you've got your lobster slider.
I'm going in.
So ours were maybe a little more messy looking than the ones that you created for us here on display.
Because you're with family.
Oh my gosh.
So,
this is delicious.
Wow.
So good.
That
and easy.
lemon
that's a
pepper
different
is so
slider.
delicious.
That's a grape slider, is it not? Mm-hmm. And what the lemon, basically, is just olive oil, lemon juice, cracked black pepper, and what the lemon does, it actually balances the acidity of the seafood, and it gives it actually a greater flavor.
It's delicious.
Chef Ray, thank you so much. We're going to see you on YouTube, the new cooking show, starting this year, right?
It started, actually, excuse me, today is the 1 month anniversary. It started January the 1st, and 30 days later, I get the opportunity to spend the afternoon with Derek and Courtney. There's no better way to live.
Well, congratulations on the YouTube show. Thank you for lunch, and we are going to post a link on our Facebook page where people can find you on YouTube.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Have a
Chef
great day.
Ray.
Thanks.
Delicious stuff. I'm definitely
So
doing this
good.
at home. The boys are going to love it. After the break, we're checking back in with Lauren Kelly, who is learning a new skill this afternoon, the art of glass blowing. Houston Life will be right back. Yum.
I'm here with glass artist Will Jackson at Juggernaut Glass in the Heights, and this is so amazing. I've really become fascinated with the art of blowing glass blowing for these beautiful decorations. I saw the show on Netflix called Blown Away, and this is a great place to come in and take a class and really learn the art. And so, Will, what you've been showing us is exactly how hot you have to get the flame, which is...
This flame's about 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, look at the very tip of the glass. You can tell the orange is the fire, where the red is really heating it up. Is there a certain point that you know it's ready to bend and to melt?
Yeah, well, I'm just looking for a uniform glow, uniform heat. You know, right around 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit is a good temperature to work at. Sometimes we'll work a little lower, a little higher. But the average, I'd say, is right around 2,600.
Now, you're working with a crystal clear piece and a colored piece, correct?
Yeah. So we've got some, this is Pyrex.
Okay.
This is a good brand of clear. And then what I'm doing is encasing it with color to really, you know, give it some nice tones, get that nice blue hue to it.
And
but
as it heats up, it looks like it's literally just melting onto the other piece.
Exactly, yeah, I'm adhering it there. And then once I encase this clear with the color, it'll make that color a lot more workable, a lot more kind of predictable.
What we were talking about a little while ago is some of the colors, when they heat up, they're deceiving. They don't look as the color they're going to dry
Exactly, yeah. So this blue has this real orange tone. Some of the other colors do different things. Red is real clear while it's hot, and as it cools, that red tone really comes right back out.
Well, Will, this is such a fascinating process. I just love it, and I know we mentioned that classes are available to the public, and you guys can buy some of Will's pieces also. If you want more information, or if you'd like to take a class, maybe after Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is
really we're all booked up for that, but lots of hearts.
Yeah, lots of hearts for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it'll be real fun.
Some cups and decorations for Mom, too. Log on to HoustonLife.tv for more information. Derek and Courtney, I'm sending it back to you guys in Studio B.
Oh, Lauren, thanks so much. We had so much fun when we were out with Will doing our craft segment and the blowing the glass, and he was talking about those date night classes.
Yeah, that holiday ornament.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
Mine too.
All right, Lauren, thank you for that. After the break, a look at what's coming up on tomorrow's show, including discounts on some of our favorite products.
That's right, Obsessions Day. And as we head to break, let's check in with Kevin Frazier for a look at what's coming up on entertainment tonight. Hey, Kevin.
Courtney and Derek tonight on ET. John Cena's Super Bowl commercial secrets, what he just told me. Plus, our stage goes to the dogs, literally. The dogs of the Puppy Bowl. They're right here. That's tonight at 6:30 on KPRC2. Now, stay put. Houston Life will be right back.
Tomorrow on Houston Life, Joe Sam continues to celebrate Black history as he explores the impact that Emancipation Park has on our community.
Plus, it's HL Obsessions just in time for Valentine's Day. The sweet discounts for your sweetheart this year.
Lots of good stuff on tap for that. I'm so excited.
Same.
Okay, and earlier in the show, guys, we asked you, what do you sneak from significant others or loved ones? The comments are so great. We're going to end with a couple. Tamala says, my husband sneaks drinks and eats Whataburger when he's out. He pays cash and not the shared credit cards.
Genius.
I find empty bags stashed in our cars and trash cans
Not so genius.
in the garage. He doesn't like to share. It's a lot of effort.
Amanda, I say I'm going to the kitchen to make coffee. I eat my snack in the kitchen, only to bring the coffee back to the bedroom.
Yeah.
Wait, but what's the snack?
Could be anything. Could be a Snickers.
You
could be an
gotta tell us,
Oreo.
Amanda.
Glass of wine.
Spill the beans. You down a glass of wine.
Just
Go back
kidding.
with your coffee.
You know what? Chef Ray, it was such a pleasure to have him today.
Yes.
Those lobster sliders, y'all don't forget, head to our website for the recipe.
Yeah, and I think that does it for us. Sadly, we're out of
Sure
time,
does.
but the
That's
party
right.
continues over in Studio A with Keith, Christine, and Frank. Hey, guys.